You're watching WTVY News 4, your hometown news leader.
Just ahead on News 4 at 6, for the third time in a week, another Wiregrass business falls victim to armed robbers. We'll have that story. Also, several local volunteer firefighters face arson charges. We'll tell you how they were caught. And the Dothan City School Board meets tonight for the first time after a call for an investigation into the board's past activities. Stay with us. News 4 at 6 is next.
From your hometown news leader, this is WTVY News 4 at 6.
The man convicted of killing 6 people at a farm in Crenshaw County will learn the price he'll pay for several weeks. Good evening, everyone. I'm Reginald Jones. Angie Casey has the night off. Thank you for joining us for News 4 at 6. It has been described as the worst mass murder in Alabama history. The sentencing hearing for Wesley Devon Harris, who killed 6 people in Rutledge, was held today, but the decision has been postponed. News 4's Tanya Deere was at that hearing. She joins us live from our newsroom with details. Tanya?
Reg, Judge Ed McFerrin has the final say in this, and it looks like we won't find out the fate of the 25-year-old Crenshaw County man for several days to come. On August 26, 2002, Wesley Devon Harris killed 6 members of his ex-girlfriend's family on their Rutledge farm. A jury recommended Harris serve a life sentence without parole, but Attorney General Troy King says he should be sentenced to death instead for what he calls the worst case of mass murders in Alabama.
Killing spree that lasted all day long and left 6 members of a family lying dead in this county. We think that far outweighs any sort of mitigation that would occur by the jury's recommendation.
Janice Ball says the hardest part of all of this is trying to raise Harris's 4-year-old daughter on her own. She would like to see if Harris received the death penalty for what he did.
Because he just needs to get what he deserves. You don't take nobody's life unless you want your own to take it.
No, if it takes longer, well, it'll be okay. As long as we get justice. And I feel those if the justice will be served.
However, some of Janice's other family members want Harris to live because they feel if he dies, they will never know the complete truth. They believe Harris didn't act alone.
I know there was more than DJ involved in my heart. There's too many unanswered questions.
I have forgiven him because I can't make it right, and I certainly can't make it wrong. So that's something that he has to live with.
Family members of Harris also spoke out. Harris's aunt says 2 wrongs don't make a right.
In the Bible, they say thou shalt not kill. What they're no better than what they say he is. They trying to kill him. Killing him is not going to bring them balls back.
Saying Judge McFerrin says it will be a few weeks before he has his final decision regarding this case. Reg?
All right, Tanya, keep us posted as to what happens. Thanks a lot. Tanya Deere live in our newsroom. Now, District Attorney John Andrews stepped down from this case when Attorney General Troy King was asked to take over. A condemned killer with no new lease on life returns to a Dothan courtroom tomorrow. Dennis McGriff had his death sentence, overturned on appeal by the Alabama Supreme Court last December. He was convicted of gunning down a Houston County man in October of 1996. A jury found McGriff guilty of killing Michael McCree during a drive-by shooting. The same panel also recommended the death penalty on a 10-2 vote. But late last year, Alabama's highest court ordered a new trial, saying the original jury was not properly instructed before beginning deliberations. A pretrial hearing in the case is set for tomorrow. Dothan police are on the lookout tonight for a couple of suspects wanted for not 1, but 2 armed robberies in broad daylight. The check cashing business on Montgomery Highway was robbed about 4:30 this afternoon. Police say 2 men armed with handguns assaulted the 2 employees inside before making their getaway. The suspects are described only as 2 black males, about 6 feet tall, weighing 160 to 180 pounds. One of them had long dreadlocks. 2 suspects matching the same description also robbed another check cashing store on South Oak Street about 3:30 this afternoon. Police Chief John Powell says he's stepping up patrols to catch the suspects. 4 Pinkard volunteer firefighters have been charged with arson. Stephen Deese, Tommy Covington, Joseph Chicarillo, and David Dozier allegedly set fire to a barn, more than $7,500 worth of hay. News 4's Lauren Davis tells us tonight it was neighborhood awareness that helped authorities catch catch the suspects.
53-year-old Albert Curry looks over the damage from his burned-down barn on the land he's lived on his whole life. He was in the field the day it happened when he noticed a fire truck go by and then his barn blazing.
And I heard something take off down here, but I didn't think nothing about it. And then later on, I see them go by, and probably 25, 30 minutes later, we got a fire down here.
Authorities questioned the volunteer firefighters, and they confessed to setting the barn on fire. They also confessed to setting 175 square bales of hay on fire earlier this year.
Sometimes people will, firemen will get bored or lack of excitement. They will set fires so they can respond and put the fires out. But that's very few that do that.
The volunteer firefighters were from out of town and had only been with the department for several months. Officials remind residents to always call authorities if they see anything suspicious.
This is what led to them being caught, was the fact that there was suspicious activity in the area.
Curry hopes his awareness will keep this from happening to anyone else. Reporting from Pinkard, Lauren Davis, WTVY News 4.
Now, the firefighters are facing criminal mischief and arson, which is a Class B felony. None of the suspects have a criminal background, but they still could face jail time. The Dothan City School Board is meeting at this hour for the first time since the buyout of former Superintendent Dr. Leon Hobbs's contract. The buyout's going to cost taxpayers nearly $440,000 over the next 4 years, raising questions that have now prompted an investigation. News 4's Erica Curry joins us from the Dothan City School Board on Doozy Street with details. Erica?
Well, Reg, believe it or not, right now the meeting is actually very quiet. There are hardly any people in the audience, and some of the school board members, actually the number is now 3 school board members of the 7, are not in attendance. The members not in attendance are Mark Nelson, Jimmy Addison, David Morales, and Dr. Hobbs himself. Now, if you'll recall, the issues surrounding Hobbs' contract all came about when the school board voted Saturday to buy out his contract rather than terminate him, which would have saved taxpayers almost $500,000. Just days after the decision, David Morales told News 4 in an exclusive interview that the school board has taken part in 9 years of wrongdoings and made accusations regarding financial mishandlings as well as policy and procedure flaws. Since then, incoming board chairman Dr. Steve Stokes has called for an independent investigation. And in this meeting tonight, I think it's also interesting that there are only a few people who have not come. And Mark Nelson, as I told you earlier, he's not there. And he was actually walking out of the meeting as I was coming out here to talk to you. And when I asked him for an interview, he declined. And so I thought that was a pretty interesting piece of information for you, Reg.
Erica, has anything come up during the meeting about Dr. Stokes' request for this independent investigation?
Right now, nothing has come up, and I don't even think it's on the agenda. But there are a few pieces of little tidbits on the agenda that will possibly lead into something saying that, and that's why we're here tonight with our team coverage.
All right. Thanks a lot, Erica. Erica Curry live from Doozy Street at the school board meeting. Now, as Erica said, we do have 2 crews at the board meeting, which started an hour ago at 5 o'clock. We'll have any new developments on this story for you coming up tonight on News 4 at 10. The Houston County Board of Education would like you to know about their upcoming public budget hearings. Now, the hearings will be held on 2 separate dates, Thursday, August 4th and Monday, August 8th. Both meetings will be held at 5:30 in the Houston County Schools Administrative Office's boardroom. That's located at 404 West Washington Street here in Dothan. A local civic group is having its annual back-to-school giveaway. Eureka Solaris presented Beverly Middle School with donated school supplies today. They go to a different school each year and donate according to need and the school's progress, with hopes to make each child fully prepared for classes.
Here, first day of school, when they come in, if that child says, I don't have any paper, there will be stacks of paper for them. I don't have a ruler, I don't have color pencils or glue, tissue, sanitizer, we bought it all. It'll be available. And the teachers will sort it out. I mean, if they have a particular family that they want to give it to, it'll be there.
Now, the supplies were purchased with donations to the club, church contributions, money given by Walmart, and their sister organization, the Eureka Club. Auburn's freshman football players reported to campus today. Brad Sherwood has details on that for you a little later in sports. Mike?
Federal indictments are handed down to those business owners who authorities say were selling large quantities of chemicals used in the manufacture of crystal meth. More on this story tonight on News 4.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Plus, a rainy weekend brought cooler temperatures, but are they going to stick around? Meteorologist Ashley Brand joins us now for a first check on our weather. Ashley?
This week looks to be completely opposite of last week. We'll hold on to some cooler highs. We'll talk about those coming up on News 4 at 6.
Picture a brighter future at Wallace Community College.
You're watching WTVY News 4 at 6 with Angie Casey, Reginald Jones, meteorologist Ashley Brand, and Brad Sherwood with sports.
A federal grand jury in Montgomery has handed down indictments against 13 people in several Wiregrass counties. A U.S. attorney says the government is targeting those store owners and retail operators who knowingly sell chemicals used to make crystal methamphetamine. News 4's Mike Gerspan tells us businesses in Geneva, Coffee, and Covington counties were targeted by the feds.
At one time, authorities say if you wanted to buy household chemicals used in the manufacture of crystal meth, you could come here to the Lake Grocery along Highway 331 and up. It's one of 7 businesses that have been targeted. After a 2.5-year investigation, a federal grand jury has handed down indictments against 13 people for conspiring in the manufacture of meth. Authorities reportedly sent undercover operatives in the businesses located in Geneva, Coffee, and Covington counties.
Selling large quantities of products containing pseudoephedrine. More or less, they're no different than the drug dealer that stands on the street corner and sells marijuana or crack cocaine or whatever. They're not doing anything to help out the community. They're hurting the community.
6 of those indicted are from Geneva County, 6 others are from Covington, and there's one individual who owns a business outside of Enterprise. If convicted, these persons could face 40-year federal prison sentences each. The government says they were purely motivated by greed.
Yes, it has, and it all comes back to the fact on this end, on the store part of it, of making that almighty dollar.
The Hornhill Grocery just outside of Opp was reportedly one of the businesses which was selling large quantities of the chemicals used in the manufacture of crystal meth. According to authorities, these folks are just as guilty as the ones who actually make the drug.
So this hopefully will be a message to them. If you enjoy your business, you better run it according to the law, and if you don't, it will belong to the United States government.
In Opp, Mike Gerspan, WTVY News 4.
The new owner of Hornhill Grocery in Opp says he took over the store this summer and hopes the legal problems of its previous owner will not affect his business. Most people in 2 Alabama coastal counties approved of the state's response to Hurricane Dennis, but a new poll found that many ignored the mandatory evacuation order. According to a University of South Alabama Mobile Register survey, Mobile County residents were evenly split over Governor Bob Riley's mandatory evacuation order for the entire county. 45% approved, 48% disapproved. Only 25% of Mobile County respondents said they evacuated on July 9th as ordered. Now in Baldwin County, the evacuation decision was far more popular. 70% of those surveyed endorsed the move and the other 30% disapproved. 45% of those Baldwin County respondents said that they indeed evacuated. Meteorologist Ashley Brand joins us now. It's not a good thing to ignore evacuation orders at all.
It's really not. I know it's so tempting to stay at home when something like that's going to happen, but they're only doing it for everybody's safety.
They are.
Just thinking ahead. Luckily, we don't have anything.
No.
The tropics have been really quiet lately. That's been very nice.
That is good news.
We've been able to focus on what's going on around here. It's been hot. It's been finally a little bit of relief from the heat. We'll continue with the chance for scattered showers. I have a forecast coming up next.
Power Doppler Plus, presented by Herndon Shell. Meteorologist Ashley Brand in the Power Doppler Plus Storm Center.
Several showers and thunderstorms have been across the region today, but many of those have left the area. We'll talk about your forecast in just a moment. First, or weather-wise for this evening. Tomorrow, the sun rises at 5:59, but by the end of this month, when will it rise? 6:05 or 6:17? Think that over. We'll take a look at Power Doppler Plus and just a few showers out there left this evening. Maybe a few more overnight, but right now, that is just about it. As far as our current temperature, now this has been a nice change. 78 degrees. The dew point, though, still into the 70s. It's still very muggy out there. 81% humidity. And our winds out of the east at 7 miles per hour. But the winds have been varying across the southeast. And a big change from this week, from last week, is the numbers. 79 in Birmingham, 78 here in Dothan, 79 in Albany. Almost cool considering the highs we had last week. Now today we topped out at 84 with the low at 73, and normally we should be around 93 for this time of the year, so you can tell how much the rain is really helping us out. And our storm spotters, just a couple of small rainfall totals, and as of early this afternoon, Linwood still missing out on the rain. Now that'll be the case for tomorrow. We'll still see the showers and thunderstorms flare up during the day. Some of you will receive the rain and some of you will miss out. A lot of this will just be light rain, but you could get stuck under a heavier shower or thunderstorm. Along the Gulf Coast tomorrow, west winds switching to the southwest at 5 to 10 knots. With seas at 1 to 2 feet. So for tonight, 71 degrees. It'll be cloudy, maybe a few showers still continuing overnight. And for tomorrow, we could have a scattered shower at any point during the day. 85 for an afternoon high. And over the next 5 days, we'll continue with highs into the upper 80s. And then we'll start to see the 90s return as we start to lose the opportunity for showers and thunderstorms. The chances will lessen, but still expect those at any time this week. And your weather-wise for this evening, by the end of the month, when will the sun rise?
6:17.
6:17, we'll lose about 18 minutes in the morning.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a huge difference, but it is, I guess.
It might.
You know.
If you're having to...
I mean, I'm always still asleep then,
get
so
up
it
and go to
doesn't
school,
matter.
it will.
That's true.
Thanks a lot. The doggy paddle paid off for one swimmer in an annual race. That story's ahead. Plus, high school football practice began today. Brad Sherwood previews the Houston County Lion season when News 4 at 6 comes back. Stay with us.
And now, Brad Sherwood with sports.
Hello everyone. Today is the first official day of high school football practice in Alabama. We're going to preview as many local teams as we can before the start of the season. All month long, check out News 4 at 6 and 10 to see how your favorite team looks heading into the 2005 campaign. Tonight, we take a look at the Houston County Lions. Houston County was 9-3 last season, losing in the second round of the Class 2A playoff to Red Level. This season, the Lions will have to rebuild the offensive line, which lost 5 players to graduation. The good news is that all of Houston County's skill position players are back, including running backs Tavares Black and Severin Barber.
You know, we've got some backs that can make somebody miss and make a big play out of something, you know. Don't necessarily have to have as big a hole as some other backs would. So, you know, a good back a lot of times can make a lineman look good.
The Lions open the season at Ashford on August 26th. Tonight on News 410, we'll check in with the Ayrton Purple Cats. 19 freshmen and newcomers reported to Auburn today. The team held a freshman-only practice in helmets and shorts this afternoon. Head coach Tommy Tuberville believes about 8 of these freshmen will see playing time this season. The upperclassmen begin practice tomorrow. Alabama, meanwhile, added a late signee to its recruiting class. Linebacker Eric Anders from San Antonio joins the Crimson Tide. He's expected to report to campus next Monday with the rest of the team. The 6'3", 223-pound Anders had 115 tackles as a senior at Smithson Valley High School in San Antonio. The Atlanta Braves just completed the best month of July in the National League, going 18-8. They finished the month on a 6-game tear. Atlanta was trying to stretch its season-long winning streak to 7 games and looking to complete a 4-game sweep over the Pittsburgh Pirates this afternoon at Turner Field. The Pirates with a 1-0 lead in the 5th. Bobby doesn't look happy because they're down 1-0, but Johnny Estrada slaps one into the left. Got to bring in Jeff Francoeur from second on the double, ties it at 1. Pittsburgh answers, though, in the bottom of the 6th. 1 on for Jose Castillo. He takes one deep off of Tim Hudson. That's gone. Opposite field job. 3-1 Pirates. It's 4-1 Pittsburgh in the 9th. Francoeur representing the tying run at the plate with 2 on, but Jose Mesa gets him swinging to end the ball game. Pittsburgh avoids the sweep with a 4-1 win. That win snaps the Braves' 6-game winning streak. About 5 months after he told Congress he's never used steroids, Rafael Palmeiro has been suspended 10 days for violating Major League Baseball's steroids policy. He is the 7th and highest profile player to test positive for steroids under the new policy adopted earlier this year. The Baltimore Orioles first baseman says in a statement he has never intentionally used steroids. Also saying, though, he accepts the punishment. Palmeiro has over 3,000 hits and 500 homers in his major league career. So he says he didn't do it.
I understand he also said he didn't know how it got into his body.
Yeah, so we'll see what shakes out after it all comes out.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Brad.
Sure.
Meteorologist Ashley Brand will be back with one final look at your evening forecast in just a moment. And a rather unusual swimmer makes history. The story next on News 4 at 6.
At Army Aviation Center Federal Credit Union, we belong to you. Why wait in line?
When you see news happen, dial *4 on your Alltel phone.
Looks like we're going to continue with scattered showers the rest of the week.
All right, well, finally tonight, a 4-year-old golden retriever named Jake made history by swimming alongside hundreds of people at the 10th annual Alcatraz Invitation Swim in San Francisco. Jake and the other swimmers swam 1.2 miles. Jake came in at number 72.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
He would have beaten me.
That's News 4 at 6. Thanks for being here with us. We'll see you back here at 10. Wheel of Fortune comes your way next. Enjoy your evening.